Hey, we're back with another Jurassic World Evolution 3 video. I got a little bit of inspiration from the tournaments I did to create this, which I'm going to call Atomic's Arc. The rules for this game are slightly complicated. I find it a little bit simple, but it could be seen as complicated. Each round will be a family of dinosaurs, so like a Ceratopsid or the Ornithomimosaurids, but it will be also based on size, so we're not going to have Nasutoceratops and Microceratus in the same arena. Each species in a round, so what we're starting with today, the Ceratopsids will have the Aqualops, the Microceratus, Ceratops, and the... I can't pronounce the last one. I really can't. There will be two of each, a male and a female, regardless of the clutch count or the species count. Their comforts will be turned on. The arena will be filled with nests and vegetation. The goal is to be the last herbivore species standing, whatever the conditions. Meet Slasher, Dasher, and Nixon, my three Indoraptors, each with one of these three different specialities. One will be released once the third nest has been hatched after being claimed by any of the species. Which one is released will be based on a dice roll that I'll roll whenever we get to it. Like I said, the goal is to be the last species around, and the Indoraptors will be that predation necessary to push them to their limit. So here we have the Aqualops, I think that's how you pronounce it. New addition from Rebirth. Here we have the beloved Microceratus, I think. It was Dominion, yes. It was Dominion they were released in. Then the Proceratops. I don't really have much of an opinion on this one. I think it looks cool. And the Psittacosaurus? Something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll figure it out eventually.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Psittacosaurus. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Psittacosaurus to the park.
So the first nest is claimed by our beloved Aqualops, the second by Microceratus, and here we have our Aqualops hatching and followed by the Microceratus. For some reason, the Protoceratops won't mate, and the Psittacosaurus physically couldn't find the nest. Finally, the Protoceratops claims a nest and lays its eggs, and then quickly after it hatches. The digital dice rolled a 6, so that means we got Nixon for our first Indoraptor. For some reason, after being released, Nixon chooses to walk the opposite direction of the herd, only to loop back around through the lake and quickly hunt a baby Protoceratops. But his first hunt kind of failed. After a quick rest, he quickly hunts and kills, I think it was the same Protoceratops he hunted earlier. Nixon then fights and kills an adult Protoceratops. For the Protoceratops to survive at this point, the juveniles would have to live long enough to reach adulthood now that one of the adults is dead. Watching this process, I've come to realize Nixon seems to favor killing the Protoceratops, and then he kills the only other adult Protoceratops in the arena. It was at this moment I came to the realization that the Protoceratops is completely extinct, which is why he went and finally hunted something else. He quickly hunts and kills one of the Aqualops and eats part of the juvenile before moving on to another body. Running low on food, Nixon quickly kills and devours another Aqualops juvenile. After killing more and more juveniles, only one adolescent dinosaur remained. That was until the Psittacosaurus ran to claim a nest. Well, more like a walk. The eggs hatched as Nixon began searching for food once more. Instead of hunting the hatchlings, he, strangely enough, decided to sleep. Finally, we got our first social interaction on camera. The mother Psittacosaurus tried to deny Nixon of his hunt, but to no avail. Meanwhile, the baby Aquilops found itself on the opposite side of the lake from its parents. After the rain began to clear, the mother Psittacosaurus tried to lead the juvenile away, only for it to get caught and killed. Nixon decided to rest next to a thornless cactus, then stomp out another Psittacosaurus juvenile. The Psittacosaurus pair ran as soon as the last hatchling was hunted. We will call this last juvenile Melon. But that name is short-lived because Nixon immediately went to hunt Melon, even after he spent so much time on the other side of the lake with the adults. For me, this happened in the span of 20 minutes. For you, you didn't get too attached to Melon. For some reason, Nixon returned to the other side without eating Melon, leaving Melon to decay and leaving Nixon starved. Despite being surrounded by the small Ceratopsids, Nixon refused to hunt them and eventually starved to death. The winner, by default, of the first arc is the Aquilops, Psittacosaurus, and Microceratus. While they didn't outlast each other, they outlasted the unnatural hybridized predator, which would eventually lead to overpopulation and eventual collapse of the ecosystem. Hooray!